everybody. Welcome to the channel, Thinking Theology. I'm Don. You saw the title, Bill Burr on Religion. I've done a number of Bill Burr's reactions. On this channel, I analyze not dogma per se, but the arguments made to construct that dogma, any arguments made of a theological nature, as well as any thoughts that people may have and where I see problems with them. I'm not dogmatic, though. I don't care what people believe. I'm sort of like the Dalai Lama. If somebody's kind or nice, I'm cool with them. That's my approach. I don't care what people believe, if they even believe in God. If they have to answer for that one day, let them answer for it. That's not my business. So, Bill Burr's thoughts on religion. If you're sensitive to foul language, turn the video off, because I guarantee he's going to have it. And if you'd like information, it's on the back end of the video about contacting me personally, because I'm a life coach or a personal coach. And I have a philosophical, theological background, and there's information on the back end of the video if you'd like to discuss certain issues you may be having with things. Here we go with Bill.
Whatever you're into, but I don't know. I'm not into that religious stuff where, and this is why. I actually walked away from my religion. I had to be honest with myself. One, I didn't like going to church every week, you know. I just didn't. Part of it was I'm lazy. I don't like getting up on Sundays. And the other part was I already heard all the stories. Okay? Heard it 3-4 times. The dude hasn't come back yet. You know, we're just sort of mulching over the same shit here. I got it. Right? And then the other aspect was, you know, I actually I had to be honest with myself. I felt my religion made sense and everybody else's sounded stupid.
That's so typical.
Look, I'm not talking about the basis of every religion. The basis of every religion makes sense. You know, the 10 Commandments, right? Don't kill anybody. Don't touch my wife. That's my bike, right? That all makes sense.
That's my bike.
Of which I think I've broken just about every commandment except for the 5th one. That's it. I haven't killed anybody yet, all right? But the murderous thoughts that I have sometimes, I think I could do it. Like when someone gets on a plane and they kick off their loafers and they're wearing those gold-toed, like, dress socks. They cross their feet at the ankles and they just start rubbing their feet together. Like I see the whole thing. See the whole thing.
We all have
Wrapping
issues.
that sock. Right? See the whole thing. So we'll see.
So we'll see.
Still early on, right? But just the stories of how we got here and where we're going and what happens after we die. Everybody else's religion sounded stupid, you know? Like I live out in Los Angeles. There's a bunch of Scientologists out there. And the first time I heard the story of Scientology, I was like, that is the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life. Yeah. Like, your guy's name is Ron. Ron. And he wasn't alive thousands of years ago, so you can hide a lot of it in the mystery. This guy was alive like 45, 50 years ago. He had a driver's license. Social security number. There's like footage of him stubbing his toe. Motherfucker, right? I don't know what happened. He was working at Denny's. He got sick of it. He's like, oh, I'll start a religion. Hey, everybody, there's a spaceship coming back. Everybody's getting sneakers. This is Tom Cruise. We're going to try to make you clear. Right?
They did.
Oh, look, I'm paraphrasing. To be fair to the Scientologists, I am paraphrasing. But that's essentially what they believe in. And I said that is the dumbest shit I ever heard, while simultaneously still kind of believing that a woman who never got fucked had a baby that walked on water, died, and came back 3 days later. So, yeah.
Paraphrasing.
That made total sense to me. So it just hit me one day. I was just like, well,
that's human cognition right there. You stair step your way in anything. You're like, how did you believe that? Or whatever it is that you believe, or how did you wind up with that behavioral problem? And it starts with a small thing and a little bit more. It's like you put a half tablespoon of sugar in your coffee, and then it's, well, that's pretty good. I'll put a little more in, and then a little more. And then you're up to like 5 teaspoons of sugar. And you're like, somebody else comes along, and how in God's name can you drink that? It's kind of like that ideologically. You start here, then go here, then here, and then all of a sudden you're here, and you don't want to talk to your family anymore or something, or whatever the issues are.
Why does that make sense and that shit doesn't? You know? They got a spaceship in theirs, you know? We had the space shuttle, you know? There's sneakers. There's a lot of shit I can relate to in this. Why does that sound so dumb to me?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what it is? You know, I think it's because I heard this story when I was an adult. I heard my story when I was like 4 years old, right? When I heard my story, there was still some fat fuck coming down the chimney giving me Christmas toys. If I lost a tooth, there was a fairy. There was an Easter bunny. Why wouldn't there be some bearded baby moonwalking across the lake? Throwing out bottomless buckets of shrimp or whatever he did. Of course that made sense. But what happened was, as I got older, all of that stuff started to fall, right? Like, son, there's no fat fuck, it's your mother and I. Your mom's the tooth fairy, rabbits don't have eggs, her tits are fake, the NBA's fixed, Baker's a cunt. Most of your dreams won't come true, right? And I was just like, wow, this is how the world is.
Holy crap.
And meanwhile, this shit was just floating, this 800-pound gorilla of this fucking story.
Oh, God.
And I just had to make a decision. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with this? Am I going to cling to it, be that person, you know? That's very offensive to me and other Christians and become that douche, right? I mean, be like the casual Christian, right? With like, you know, some 1 foot on base and just, I kind of go a couple times a year and like my parents come to town. I act like I go all the time and then I don't go anymore. Or my last option, which was basically just let go of the shit, you know? Just let go. Just let go of it like that creepy moment in curling, you know? You know that moment where the shooter, whatever you call him, is just sliding with
like
that rock, right? Just, let me do this right, just slide.
What an analogy.
And you think he's along for the ride. The two of them, they're a team. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just goes fucking. That rock just keeps going. This dude just stops. That's what I did with my religion. I just let go of it.
How do you even get into that sport?
Anybody. I just let go of it. And on the third day, he rose again in fulfillment of the... I just floated away.
That was like when Elon Musk shot his Tesla into outer space. It's still going. Voyager spacecraft still going.
So now it's like I'm in this weird place where I'm not in any religion right now. Unrestricted free agent.
He's honest.
You know? I'd like to believe in something, so I've been going around asking people what this shit is, and I haven't been able to find anything. I'm trying to be open-minded. I was doing a gig in Helsinki, and over there they're like Lutheran. And what they believe when you die, you're dead. And that's it. Dead. Like a pigeon, just laying there. Over. Blew my mind. I'm like, really? You're just dead like this? You don't... Like my religion was, you die and then you go up to get judged, right? God pops in the DVD of your life. Like, oh, I don't know about this right here. Mind explaining yourself? This might be the most arrogant thing I say all night, but I actually resent the fact that I'm going to get judged someday. Like, if that's true, that somebody's going to judge me, that doesn't even make any sense. It's like, dude, you made me, so this is your fuck up, all right? Let's not try to turn this around on me, you know? Jesus Christ. You give me freedom of choice. You make whores, you have me suck at math, and you don't think this thing's gonna go off the rails?
That is a common argument, and it's tough to argue with that one if God is in control and God made everything and has a purpose for everything. His argument makes sense. It's like, how do you hold me accountable for that if I had no say in the matter? That's sort of like the notion of responsibility and philosophical works. Like, how responsible are you if your mind was made a certain way and it's not your fault, the mens rea aspect of it, the guilty mind, and that tabula rasa, like the differences between the two. But he's making a good point.
Like, you set me up to fail, and now you got the balls to now question your own goddamn work. Dude, if I made a car, if I built a car and it didn't run, I wouldn't, burn it forever. You evil piece of shit, light it on fire. I wouldn't. I would troubleshoot. Is there gas in the engine? Is the battery charged? Anything beyond this, I got to get a real man to look at it. But I believe in you. Let's try and help you out.
That's a problem with a lot of theology. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. I'm saying that the argument itself makes sense as far as the freedom of will goes. If God is in control of everything, and a lot of people have this argument. I had it when I was younger, and it still makes sense to me on this level, that there's evil in the world. If God's in control of everything, then obviously he wants that evil for some reason. If he can control that, if he can just wave a wand and get rid of it, and he's not getting rid of it, then how do we explain that part of it? Because even we humans were like, this is horrible stuff, that there's pain and all this in the world. But then if there's free will, then that removes God being in control of everything, then that would make you responsible. And so then you've got more of the philosophical, and they are philosophical arguments. They're just, how do we process this? And some people say, just believe it. It's like, well, this is what Bill's going after. Why would I believe what you're saying? All these other things don't sound right. Even what you're saying doesn't. In fact, what I used to say or believe doesn't make sense. Bill is, that's capturing of what Bill said. So, Bill, he makes good points. I'm not offended. It doesn't bother me at all if people believe in God or not. It just doesn't. And I do. I believe there's a creator, not because the biblical texts say it. I have my own issues with the biblical text, which I didn't. I used to rely on that for my information until I did exorbitant amount of research, including rewriting the New Testament in my own words. When I believed hardcore in the New Testament, I wanted to go through, rewrite it in my own words to see where the gaps in my understanding were. And it took a year and a half, and I discovered some of the basic assumptions I was relying upon, like the Bible was dictated to the men and women who wrote the Bible, and they just dutifully wrote down what God wanted to say, and that there was one author. When I saw that the writers themselves repeatedly said, I'm giving you my opinion, I'm giving you my thoughts, this is my judgment, after a while, I just said, so these are people writing their best account of God. And that brought it onto the level of humans putting their stamp on it, which I didn't have a problem with. It just changed the idea that this is the word of God. This became the word of people. It didn't necessarily make it wrong, but it meant that there was an entirely different way of looking at it. It explained the contradictions. Then you have to count for the thousands of letters written in the early church that were not included in the canon. Then it opens up, well, why were these 27 letters and gospels in the New Testament included? Why were all these other ones ruled out? Who were the people who voted? Were those votes unanimous? All this sort of stuff bespeaks human intervention, which is fine. But that's in part why I don't care if somebody believes in a creator, if somebody believes in Jesus or Moses or Buddha. None of it bothers me. If they're decent, I'll handle my own beliefs. And I mean, I'm old enough to think things through. And if somebody makes a better argument than I currently have, I'll go along with it. That's why Bill is hilarious to me. I mean, what he says, how he says it, I think it's funny because the argument itself makes sense. And those who get upset at things like this because they feel they have to defend God. And I used to be that way too. When somebody would say something that differed from my understanding of what was in the Bible, for example, I felt like I had to defend. And then at some point I realized, like, the mayor of my own small town doesn't even need me to defend her, let alone God, the creator of the entire universe. Like, what is this idea that I have? Am I puffing my importance up, which I believed I was, puffing the importance of me up to defend God? And I'm thinking, well, if God is so powerful that he created the universe, if God is love, he can deal with Bill Burr talking the way he does. Bill makes good points. And you can disagree with them, but that's fine. I mean, we all get through this world on our own. So anyway, that's Bill Burr, folks. And if you made it this far, thanks for hanging on. Thanks for hanging in there this long. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. There's a trailer at the end of this in case you want to discuss theological or philosophical issues with me, because I am a life coach and have been for over a decade. So have a great day. See you on another video. And here comes the trailer. Hey everyone, this is just a video to let you know that I'm available on a one-on-one basis for personal coaching or for conversations about theological topics. Could be relationships you're having with somebody who's a bit toxic in their faith. Maybe they're over the top. Maybe you're having questions, maybe doubts, or just wondering about your church or whatever. The theology obviously covers a broad range and spectrum of issues. So if you need or want to speak with somebody about these topics in a non-judgmental way, non-confrontational way, I'm available on a one-on-one basis. I've been doing this for many years, not just with theology, with executive business coaching. I work in personal spaces with people who are going through a divorce. And this is not about establishing your faith or challenging you on faith. This has nothing to do with your particular denomination, faith, religion. This is about relationships and how to process some of the nuances of your faith that you may not have considered, that may ease your mind about how you're thinking about things or approaching things. So my normal fee for executive business coaching is $250 per hour, but for theological topics, I've kept it at $95 per hour. And some folks may even need special consideration on that fee. And we can discuss that if you have financial hardship. And our conversations take place by phone, and we'll make a lot of progress in a short period of time. So don't hesitate to reach out. I'm very approachable. I've been doing this for many years. My direct email is thinkingtheologytoday@gmail.com. That comes directly to me. And it's scrolling across the screen now, but it's also in the description box below. So if you're interested in talking with me on a one-on-one basis, that's how to do it. All right, folks, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep thinking theology.